Okay. Hello, everyone. I feel, it's really odd. I can't explain it, but something keeps compelling me to come back and make more videos now that I've actually started doing it. This is why I can't take the time to make sure this looks good or anything like that, because there is that whole idea of it just being a procrastination on my part. And so I'm currently, honestly, I really wish that somebody who had the ability for spiritual sight could watch these videos, because there's something going on. I understand. I can't see the aura. But I feel that there's something happening here. And at various times, I'm aware, even while I'm talking, that there are these pulses that will happen in my body, sort of. It's not really my body. Anyway, tonight, I once again have a thought. I really want to process it, but I can't. Once again, I have to come here. And the thought I need to process tonight, it's about the Amanita mushroom. Now, I've never ingested the mushroom, but Amanita and I have a rather close relationship. And the reason is because she deals closely with relationships. So I had an interesting insight that physically I have been so ill. And despite what doctors tell me, I still keep having the thought that I'm pregnant, so I don't know what else is going on here. So there is that associated with the physical illness, but that also has something to do with the Amanita mushroom. The Amanita mushroom has something to do with me and my twin. And she is ultimately what brought us together, or what ultimately woke me up to the idea of my twin. Someone was talking about his experiences with the Amanita mushroom. And it was really one of my first shortly after my awakening onto this shamanic path. And it was about 3 months after the parade. So it was just after, actually, no, it was a little later. It was just after the new year. 2015, I guess? I don't know. 16? Maybe. Hard to say. I've lost so much track of time. But she started talking to me, and I found it to be rather odd. And she started showing me a bunch of odd things about the chakra system. And one of the things that she was showing me had to do with the fact that there is masculine chakras and feminine chakras. And the way it works out in the body is the upper body, if we're only looking at a 7 chakra system here, because there are more chakras I'm becoming aware of, and part of that could be these other centers that I'm talking about, like say the stomach portal, and the heart center, and the head center. They could be other chakras, and I know there's talk about other chakras throughout the body, but this is just based on the primitive 7 chakra system. And that was honestly what I had my first introduction to with the chakra system, and what most people probably get an introduction to. And I think that is just because it's the basics, and we can always grow from there, but there is always this core set of basics. So she showed me that the upper 3 chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the crown, were masculine. The lower 3 chakras, the solar plexus, the navel chakra, and the sacral chakra, or the root chakra, because to me, in other chakra systems, they talk about the root and the sacral chakra as being different. But the way she was showing it to me, those two names were interchanged. I don't know. I told this to this individual. And, you know, story of my life, and this is what a lot of people, you know, are always telling me, you're wrong, you don't understand. So I had to learn to trust myself. I had to learn that despite external things, that despite what other people say, I had to trust my own intuition. And this may be why I was never able to have a teacher, because I rubbed them the wrong way, because I wouldn't listen. I mean, I would listen, but I wouldn't just accept whatever they said without questioning it. I would always have questions. I would always have insights. They didn't like that oftentimes my insights directly questioned their teachings. And so this was the case with this individual. And he and I had at first, good relationship, but it was never a sexual relationship. It was a colleague relationship. And it flowed easily. And this is why I'm also saying that the twin energy can manifest in other types of relationships beyond lover. So because Amanita is directly responsible for me starting to uncover this twin energy, and this man introduced me to Amanita, it makes sense to me that he was embodying my twin. And so my twin was speaking through him. And there was that conflict that happened as a result of me questioning certain things that he said and having my own insights about Amanita. So I decided that my relationship with her was more important. The work I had to do was more important, and I had to trust myself. So this was really the first time of me needing to tell an individual, I'm going to trust myself on this. At the time, it was just me kind of fading into the background. And I'm a lot more outspoken now with individuals who challenge me. At the time, though, I didn't have the confidence in myself. So I tried telling myself, and this is actually a very pervasive relationship pattern for me that creates a lot of dysfunction, is this idea that the other person, the man, knows better than I do. And I have to trust their experiences and what they say as the truth. And I'm invalidated. But it's me invalidating myself, because I'm buying into some old pattern that invalidates women in general, invalidates our intuition. And so I think that was where Amanita was leading me to. And the reason she's on my mind tonight is because I realized that after I found my twin in his physical incarnation, that an exchange started happening, because he was well, I would actually, now since I met him, would say a compulsive smoker of cannabis. And I had no problems with cannabis. I had never tried it. So I was actually kind of curious, because then cannabis, the spirit of cannabis, began talking to me. And I suspected, but I wasn't sure, that it was the same as Amanita. I don't really particularly know. But now it's come up again for my review, and I hadn't thought about this in a long time, almost a year. Now, the interesting thing about cannabis Cannabis is male. And he was working with my mind or heart. I'm not sure. See, I think your stomach portal works with your heart. Your head works with your heart. Your heart, like your ego, is what unites the two. Your head being more the seat of your higher self. Your stomach portal being the seat of your inner child self. I'm going to regather my thoughts and I'll be back.